Hi, everybody. My name is Bradley Hill, he, him pronouns. I'm here with AEC. I am the creative learning coordinator, and I am also like the main partner contact at AEC. So, like, I am here specifically for you all. Anything that you need regarding getting your profile set up. And so when you get to the map, you'll see all of the things. And like Anthony said, like you do not need a login to actually use the map. To do the searching, you do not need a login to do so. However, you'll need to log in to your profile if you ever need to edit your profile, update contact information, update your program information, etc. So for us, we'll be working out of the partners login portal, which will take you to this page. Um, and if you like look up like I'll look up ACH Clear Pathways is on here. Steel Town is on here, but one of the they obviously like Steel Town is now the WQED Film Academy, so that's something that's going to need to change. And I will happily be able to go through that if you need support there. Obviously, the Westmoreland is on here. Like all of the organizations are on here. But today we'll be working out of the AEC profile because AEC is also on the map. So everything that we tell you all, we are also doing on our end because the map is beneficial like that. So we are going to sign in. And it'll take you to this landing page right here. This is your dashboard. This basically indicates all of the different things that will show on your map. So like when people come to your profile, they'll be getting information from one of these sections. Whether it's like your organizational details, which is like, you know, the basic like this is what our organization is. You know, your profile picture. There's your program listings that basically tell schools and other potential partners what they can expect in collaboration with you all. There's a school partnership section that will list any schools that you've worked with previously. So it's like a, check our resume. Like we've done this, or like, we're interested in doing more. And there's a staff contact, which is the main education contact for your organization. Like how Anquinique was saying, we want to eliminate the white noise between like, oh, I don't know who I'm supposed to be reaching out to if I want to do this, that, and the other one. Who is the person that people reach out for y'all? And that's the person whose contact information that you're going to list. So I'm going to take you through each and every one of these and just kind of like give you a brief overview of the things. And yeah, we'll go there. So like I said in the update profile section, it has your organization or teaching artist name, which is like preset. So like when we make your profile, that will never change. Or I mean, it can change, but like we'd have to do it. And then like if you have a website, you'll add that in. If you have a phone number, and this is mainly for teaching artists who might not want to list their like personal phone number, like there is a way that we can help them with that. But hopefully, like your organization has a phone number that we are able to list. And you can talk a little bit about your organization in this section. We encourage adding your logo. It really helps fill out your profile and then where your organization is located. What primary arts disciplines that your organization works in, and any other like demographic information about your staff, which is like what this section is about. So the biggest the biggest lift, and it's not a heavy lift, but it is just like the very important lift to make sure that like your profile has some substance is listing your programs. Um, so there are multiple different ways that you can do this depending on how long your organization has been on the map and what information is on the map. Um, for AEC, we've obviously been on the map since the beginning, which is like it's really cool because there are certain features that definitely benefit people who have been on the map on returning years. And that feature, one of those features, is copying a program from another school year. So before I show you how to add a new program, I'll show you that if you're a returning organization or if you're picking up where your organization last left off and it's like it's been a while, but we do still do that program, this is a way to kind of level the lift. You can copy a program from another school year. As you can see, it'll list all of our programs from the 2019-2020 cycle, the 2020-21 cycle, the 2021-2022 cycle. So like all of the different cycles. So now we're on the 2022-2023 cycle. So like all of our programs for the last 3 cycles are all listed here. Our most recent updates, obviously, were done to the programs from our previous cycle. So I'll just do our Leadership Academy program just to show you all an example of how this works. You'll add the program in, and then boom, it'll show up in your 2022-2023 program listings. And it has all the same information from our previous cycles if we go here and we look at the Leadership Academy. So it'll have all the same and I'll comb through this when I show you how to add new programs, but it'll have all the same data so that like if you're like, hey, nothing's changed, we still do all these programs and like we don't really need to update anything, we just need to make sure that people know that this year we are still doing this. You can just copy and paste the program here, right? You will add a new program in, and this is all of the information that you're going to need in order to add in your new program. And what I'm not good at doing is doing stuff on the fly of like making stuff up. So I'm gonna try and like make up a program because I don't know any real things off the top of my head. So say you have a program, you're doing, I don't know. I feel like this is photography. Thank you so much, Keisha. Appreciate
I got you. I got you.
have a photography program that you're running. And then you get to choose like the grades that you're doing. And earlier I heard middle school was like a thing. So if middle school is like
Six
the
to
program,
six to eight.
it's always going to be 6th through 8th. Well, I don't know if it's always going to be, but like traditionally, the middle schools that I know are 6th to 8th grade. So you'll be able to select the grade range in which you serve your programming. And then you'll add in a description of like, students will have the opportunity to take their own photographs using a real camera. How exciting. Obviously, you want to include more details there, like, what other resources that you're providing for like where is the program taking place, how are students getting access to the programs, different things like that. Like you want to make sure that you include as much information as possible so that when schools are reaching out to you or when you're marketing these programs or when we're marketing these programs on your behalf, there is a lot to go off of so that collaboration can happen quicker and more effectively. So you want to make sure that you have as much information in that section as possible. The description portion is like very important. So
I'll just
go ahead, Anthony, please go ahead.
thank you.
Yes,
I just want to add there, we do have a resource that we will share with you if we haven't already.
absolutely.
That is a kind of tips and tricks for how, what things you need to look out for when completing your profile. And so, it's a good thing to kind of read through also in tandem, or if you want to go back and edit things or if you're writing your program description like in a Word document and then copy and pasting it in. Things like there is a list of keywords to consider including in your description that really make it easy for when folks are using the search engine and there might be particular words or phrases. So I had mentioned that a little bit, like in the resources tab, for example. So if your programming specifically hits on, or uses culturally responsive practices, that is a thing to like say in that space. Or if you know that your program is specifically, has a particular, like cultural space that it is working in, like if it is specifically Africana arts or if it's specifically something cultural, like talk about that in your description. Like these are the things we want to hear so that when people are searching for it, those things, your profile will more readily show up in the searches. So I just wanted to drop that in there. I'm done.
No, and I appreciate that, and Quitting for reiterating that. And we will definitely be sharing our guide to how to make the most out of your profile. Like, that is a very helpful resource. That does carry a lot of the information that you are being told today, also. Luckily, the artlook profile also has some additional features that hopefully aid in your like ability to communicate that. But like Anquinique said, like those keywords and that like initial pass is like very important for collaboration. Um, as you move through this like program filling out process, it'll ask you like a few questions, and these are all just like check off answers. Like this isn't like I said, the lift is not a heavy one, it's just a very important one. So it'll ask you like which of the following describes how your program approaches arts instruction to accomplish its objective. And they have as options arts instruction, arts integration, and arts experiences. If you're like, oh, I'm not sure, they have definitions, which is like very helpful because language is like a thing. You know, there's always like external language and internal language, so you don't know how the two translate. And so you want to make sure that you're clearly communicating things so that you know everybody has the same definitions and is working with the same definitions in language for everything. So this just like makes the most sense, so you can read through and be like, oh, like is it arts instruction, is it arts integration, is it just an arts experience, is it two of the three, is it all three, you know, however that looks. So for us, because for our made up photography program, we're probably going to go with arts instruction. um that
And arts integration, you can throw that one in there too.
Thank you so much, Keisha. This is now your this is now your program. This is now your program. So then for program type, you'll select all that apply. Once again, there are definitions if you're like, I don't know. This is especially helpful because one of the options is professional development. And a lot of people like select professional development because they're like, kids are gonna, you know, learn some skills and be like developed as professionals, and that is not the version of professional development that this is indicating. As you can see, like professional development is training for teachers and or administrators, so that is not as like student focused, but it is something that has like tripped people up in the past. So it's something to note, to make sure that you read through these program type definitions so you can really identify like, is this what we are offering? So there's no confusion, because once again, we want to make sure that collaboration happens in a very effective and quicker timeline and easier and simpler timeline. So for this, like, we're just gonna say online virtual. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. And then the next question is, this list below includes qualities and intended outcomes that are sometimes the central focus of an arts education program. Please select any that are essential elements of this program. So this will be directly related to like your internal language of how you plan the program and what your intended outcomes are. Is it anti-racist, anti-bias focus? Is there, you know, like, is there cross-curricular learning? So will the skills that they learn here be able to translate to another curriculum or another practice that they might be engaged in? Is there social emotional learning happening? Is this trauma informed healing based approach? Like, what all is your program covering? Financial support is another question that's on here, which is like really helpful for schools to kind of leverage like how realistic it is for them to be able to either engage with you all in programming, or like what they might need to provide in order to engage with y'all in programming. So if y'all offer like full or partial reimbursement for buses to and from your location, if there's like a reduced cost for students who are on like based on financial need or student demographic, like is there any resources, like are y'all gonna provide anything for substitute teachers? Like there's a lot of different options that like will help mitigate that ask. Next is, how often do teaching artists or program staff who identify as BIPOC directly deliver this program to students during the school year, which is a very important demographic question, which also helps mitigate the ask of like, what is the investment in your organization? So like if your organization is BIPOC led or has a predominantly BIPOC program staff lead, 100% of the time, so probably a BIPOC individual will be delivering the programming. If you are a white-led organization and there, or if there's like barely or if any like BIPOC individuals in your organization, like that's definitely something to note. And there's some accountability there. For like people to be engaged with diverse voices, if it's like a predominantly white school who's interested in like being like culturally relevant, like that is something that they want to know going into the partnership also. And then the final program question is basically just like the arts discipline that your program addresses. So this is another just checklist. So they have dance, literary arts, media arts, music, theater, and visual arts. So these same filters that we use to search for schools and what schools we're looking for, this is how they're finding it. This is how they're finding the programs that they need, is by the demographic ask. And it's like really important that you comb through this and make sure you select everything that is relevant. Because you never know what how niche a school can get when they're searching for partnership. The next section is the school partnership section. This is another more like straightforward section. Here you'll be able to list any school that you have collaborated with. The caveat is that you can only list schools who are already on the artlook map. So for instance, like we have Donaldson Elementary School on here because Donaldson Elementary School is a school that is already on the map. But say for instance, we are working with a school that is not on the map quite yet. We will not be able to list them until they agree to be listed on the map as their own individual profile. So like if you're going through this as your new liaison and you're filling out this and you're like, I don't know why I can't select.
He's in the meeting till 2.
Hello? I'm sorry, I missed that. Was that a question?
No, I don't think it was.
Okay. So say there's like a specific school that you're looking for and you're like, I can't list the school, I don't know why. It's probably because they're not on the map. If that's the case, then like hold on to that, or like you can let me know if it's like a check thing. Like please shoot me an email and be like, I'm holding on, this is a school that I would like to see on the map like in the future, and we will be like taking that information and using that in the future to kind of guide us in our recruitment for the next cycle. But that is how you'll add your new partner here. You can look up the name, like Donaldson comes up. I only said that, search that because I know they're on the map. Yeah, any school that's on the map, you can list them. If you are like a organization that's worked with a district of schools, for instance, like we have a partner who's worked with all of the Propel schools and was like, can I just say I've worked with Propel schools? And no, that is not a possibility. You would have to go through and list every Propel school you've worked with. So like if you type in Propel, it'll bring up all the different Propels and you have to select all the ones that you work with. And as you can see, it's not a lot, but it is like a process so you can really indicate where you've been, who you've worked with, and really build out that network. And this is another option for people who have been on the profile for a long time. Like you can copy your partners from other school years and be done with it instead of having to search individually. And then you can select all the things that you've done with that school to really indicate the partnership. We have a new feature that I don't know if excited is the word that I'm looking for, but I am excited to share with you all, that really kind of helps manage like internally for you as an organization, is that as people are looking at the things that you're offering, sometimes like, people can be coming to you and you might be booked and busy. You might have a lot of different, you might have so many different partnerships going on that like you might not be available to have a partnership at the moment, or you might have some internal staff things that you're working out that at the moment you cannot take on a current partnership. This slider here helps you indicate to schools or other potential partnerships if at the moment you are accepting new partnerships. So like any potential partner will see this and be like, oh, like they're available, or oh, they're not available. So as you can see, ours is not toggled at the moment, and I'm not going to be the one to toggle it, but you can toggle it yes, so that people can just like say like, oh, they are looking for partnership, or you can toggle it no and be like, oh, they're on a pause, they're on a hiatus. And that will be something that you all discuss internally. And then finally, the contact section, like I said, these are the two contacts that you want to have listed. The education contact is the person who people will contact to collaborate and partner with. So please do not put somebody on here that like will give everybody the runaround. You want to put the person on here who's going to be able to establish this and make this happen. And your executive director also has a section to be listed here also. But they do not show up. And Matt, please check my understanding. They do not show up immediately on the profile. Only the education contact does, correct?
Yeah, we want to order it now.
Yes, perfect. Okay.
We'll be moving through this process with both schools and arts partners. So as you update your profiles, we'll take a look at them to review, to get a sense of what's in there. And if there are any things that are unclear to us that we think might be unclear to schools, or if there's information missing that we think might be important to help you with those partnerships, we'll reach out as part of that process with some suggestions. And then there'll be a little bit of back and forth there in terms of updating. But after that, you should be good for the school year. You can always log back in if things change. As Bradley was saying about the school partnerships, if no, you get to a point where you can't handle anymore, or you have that turned off and say, okay, we're ready to start school partnerships. You can do that toggle, or you can make other changes as you go. As Bradley said, it's open-ended on the arts partner side, so it really is a rolling thing. As things come and go, you're invited to change it and keep it up to date, and then we'll then you do it again next year. But hopefully, as you do more years, as Bradley showed you, it's easier to just move programs forward if there's not a lot of changes.